First of all, I can't even tell who's who and where they're going. I mean, I'm so confused trying to figure out all of the different new conferences. But if we look at this new playoff schedule, who do you think will be the 4 teams that are in it?
It's really tough. Right. It's tough. It's tough for me to tell right now because, I'm just diving back into it myself. But I think that Alabama is a really interesting team. You don't lose the greatest coach of all time in Nick Saban and just turn the page like it's normal. But I had a chance to cover Kalen DeBoer at Washington while they made that run to the national championship last season. And I'm just telling you, this guy's a rock star, and I absolutely love him. And initially, Alabama had a lot of kids hit the transfer portal when Nick Saban retired, but they have started to pick up some steam in recruiting. So I'm really curious about Alabama. I think that they are a team that can make some noise. And then, Georgia, they have been recruiting so well under Kirby Smart. Their quarterback returns. And so as you look at who can be good, I look at who has the most experience at quarterback. And right now that's Georgia. So I would say Georgia and Alabama are 2 of my favorites right now. And then Notre Dame is a sneaky third that I would put in that category because Riley Leonard, who's the quarterback at Duke last year, remember Duke got off to that great start. They were undefeated. I think they were 6-0 or 7-0 until Riley Leonard got hurt. And he is now transferred to Notre Dame. So I'm really looking at the Fighting Irish. I get to cover their very first game, Notre Dame at Texas A&M, and that is going to be epic.
Let me ask you this. Is it going to be a really long year for Rich for Michigan? I mean, how do we feel about the pickup from this and the follow-up? Will they beat Ohio State?
It's okay. So here's the thing. I really believe in their new coach. I love him. Coach Brown is amazing. I think he's going to do a great job there. But that team lost a lot. So Blake Corum was the heart and soul of that team. And anyone who watched the national championship, he absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage, ran the ball down Washington's throat. And so to lose both J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback, and the running back, Blake Corum, is a big deal. But then they lost some of their key guys on defense. So Michigan's going to have to reload. But I do think they've had a lot of excitement in recruiting, and I do believe in their new head coach a lot. He was their offensive coordinator last year, called that great game, and he's the one who really established that line of scrimmage and that Michigan has to be tough up front. They had the best line of scrimmage in the game last year. Their offensive line was the best line in the country, in my opinion, and so I do think Michigan will have that physical front and make a lot of noise. But, you brought up a good point. I do think Ohio State is a team to watch. Ryan Day, they have fallen short against Michigan, obviously, in the last few years, but I still think they're the most loaded team in the country right now. So, those 2 teams actually can be playing for an opportunity to go to the playoff come the end of the season. And one last thing, Suzy, before we get off college football, I'm so excited for the college football playoff to expand. What that means is more fan bases, more excitement. And I think there's going to be a lot more eyes and a lot more excitement around college football this year because more people will be included in December in that expanded playoff. So I'm really excited. This is the most excited I've been for college football in a long, long time.
Oh, I mean, you totally get it, Holly. I mean, our house is paid for by the National Football League, but I really loved covering college football. There's nothing quite as exhilarating as walking onto a campus game day through the hordes of people and the drunk students and the families watching and then being there on the field with the bands. I love it. So I think you have the greatest job in the world.
I really do. I'll give you one quick story. So I was covering a game. This was Oklahoma at Tennessee when Baker Mayfield was just starting out as the first starting quarterback at Oklahoma. That game goes into overtime. Baker Mayfield runs it in to win the game, and his legend is born. He goes on to win the Heisman Trophy. And that night, I drove through the night, got on a flight in Atlanta, went to the Denver Broncos opening game, Peyton Manning's last year. And I was looking around and I was like, I'm kind of bored right now. Like, this atmosphere does not compare at all to what I experienced in Knoxville, Tennessee last night. So the NFL is amazing. I think the play is the most exciting thing, but nothing can compare with the college football atmosphere.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.